So what's up? How you doing today? We're going to take a quick look at 3 key takeaways from Tony Rice's version of Shenandoah. This is definitely not going to be a complete breakdown of the song. We're just going to look at the first part, the A section, one time through and some key takeaways. But let's first give it a listen, and then we're going to break down what it is, and I got the tabs so you can follow along these parts. So before we start, we have to get it in drop D. So if you don't know what that is, we're just gonna take our E and drop it down to a D. And then we can play big full D chords like that instead of the usual smaller open versions. So the first takeaway that I get from this is that he almost exclusively is playing triads. And he's just playing around, and that's how you get that strong melody and playing around the triads. So when he starts off right here, this is just a triad with an D and A in the bottom there, and then going here, it's playing like an A triad when you play an A chord, and then he goes back to it, and then up here, this is a D shaped triad, but a G. So it's a G triad with a D shape, and then up here, this is part of a D chord here. So it's a D triad up here, D triad, A triad, G again, and D, and then the other part, he goes over here on these strings. This is part of this D chord, a G triad, and then back to this one. So you can see there's a lot there. It's about 8 or so different triads, and it's just about a handful of different shapes. But that's how he's navigating around this. That's part of his sound and his style, getting the melody with this tune. So the second key takeaway is that these unusual hammer-ons are what really brings it to life. So he's going along here just playing it normal, and then right here, so he's not just playing the triad, but he's playing this 5th fret right here, an E on the 2nd string, and then hammering into here. So it's rarely when I play a triad like this, I'm just playing it always straight. I'm hammering on, playing notes above, like that. And then for the one over here, instead of playing it like this D, he's playing with an unusual fingering to be able to hammer on from here to here. And when I first figured this out by ear, it took me a while to figure it out, and then figure this fingering is, the only way to get that is just really unusual fingering, but the more you play it, the more you'll get used to it, and now it's really just a part of my playing, and I throw in things like this all the time. Really thanks to transcribing this tune. But keep in mind, I'm not breaking down the whole song. I didn't really learn the whole thing. Maybe someday I love it so much. But just doing this one part, it was enough for me to be like, oh, I see what's going on. I like these sounds, and I want to incorporate them into my own playing. And by just learning by ear and just doing it over and over, that's what it has done, And then playing here, just to get it this fast, going right here. It's like you can't really get it with this normal fingering, so you have to maybe go like this, which feels really weird compared to the strong fingers there. But again, you'll get used to it. And then down here, so another good asset of doing it this way is when you're here, he hammers down from this note to here, so an A to a B. And you can't get it obviously like the normal way with your fingers like that, so you have to change it like that. And that just, it's really unusual, awkward fingering, but it really opens up the sound. And then bringing it back there. And, that's it with the hammer-on. So really the idea there is try out these triads in different unusual fingerings, and try out these particular hammer-ons and try out other ones on your own. Explore around, and you'll start to open up the sound, and they'll sound a little less stiff. But even without the hammer-ons, triads is a great way to open up your chords playing and sound less stiff, because you can move them around, and you can play an A like this, 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 and it really opens things up so you can play your chords more melodically instead of just one, set open way or one, bar chord way or something like that. So the last thing, or the third takeaway, is that the pedal glues it all together. So the pedal is just this low D. That's one benefit of having a drop D. We can just get that in there. And then sometimes he plays the D here, but same ideas. Either this D or this D. And then up here, he hits the D again. Between each chord, he hits that D. So it just keeps pedaling until you get to this moment where it plays an A13 chord with an A in the bottom. Otherwise, the entire time, it has this D or this D, it has a D just droning on. That's called a bass pedal. And that kind of glues all these sounds together. So these chords sound, different, and they sound more colorful than they would on their own, but at the same time, it doesn't sound as random. The bass pedal just glues it all together. So those are my 3 big takeaways from Shenandoah. So hopefully that's useful to you to just learn this part, but also to notice those 3 kind of main things that Tony Rice, is doing. So hopefully you have fun with that. You get your guitar and you can spend some time diving into that, and I'll hopefully see you in the next video.